engines have been around for nearly 2,000 years, but it wasn't until the late 1800s that trains developed enough to transport goods and people. In 1887, the Kansas City, Memphis, and Birmingham Railroad was in need of a halfway point between Memphis, Tennessee, and Birmingham, Alabama. They found this point outside of the Cotton Gin Port community, right along the Tombigbee River. There, the company established the first planned city, Amory, named after Harcourt Amory, a railroad official of Boston, Massachusetts. Amory quickly became a bustling town. People from the neighboring settlement of Cotton Gin Port moved to Amory. Houses and businesses were rolled in on logs, as it was seen that the new town would soon grow to replace Cotton Gin Port. As Amory grew, so did opportunities for industry and business. Many people played roles in making Amory thrive. E.D. Gilmore and Archibald Dalrymple opened the first businesses that helped the town become a center of commerce. Men such as Ike and Tommy Longnecker, Coy Glenn, and Frank Page brought the garment industry to town. This would become one of the largest industries Amory ever had. As the years passed, Main Street Amory developed to be an everyday American town, boasting theaters, five and dime stores, and department stores. Town events were aplenty, with such attractions as sports teams, dances, and parades. The busiest part of the year is April, when the annual Railroad Festival rolls around. As many as 40,000 people attend the festival each year to explore artists, vendors, and a large spread of local cuisine.
I'm Mary Liv Francis, and I was the chairman of the first Railroad Festival that Amory had. And some people wonder how we got it started. So that's the story that I'll be telling. The Chamber of Commerce appointed committees one year, and I was a member of the board of directors. And when they handed out assignments for the year, my assignment was to be chairman of the tourism committee. There was $100 in the budget. And so I got a committee together, and we began to brainstorm about what Amory could do to have a tourist attraction. And on that day that we were to meet again, I was in the real estate business, and I was showing a man around town who was looking for a certain type of property, and I realized it was getting to be time for the committee meeting. So I said, you know, I'm going to have to stop this tour, mainly with you, but because I'm chairing a committee on tourism for the Chamber of Commerce, and it was time for the meeting. And he said, what are y'all planning to do? And I told him some of the ideas that we had been tossed around at the first meeting. And about that time, we were in my car and we were driving on Main Street past the park that's downtown, and that's where the engine is on display. That's significant to Amory because Amory was started by the railroad and was known as a railroad town. Anyway, we passed by and he saw the locomotive over there in the park, and he said, well, why don't you have a railroad festival? And that's a really great idea. So he left, and I went to the Chamber of Commerce office, and the committee was in there, and I presented the idea that was his idea, And they all thought it was a great idea too. So that settled it for what we were going to do. So we really had some pretty good music for that first festival. We also had a few things that, of course, we wanted the festival to grow in the years ahead, and it did. Amazing growth. Thousands and thousands of people come every year now. But the first one was smaller. I went up and down Main Street and asked each store if they would keep it in mind and maybe put some kind of special decorations in the window and going along with the railroad theme, and they did that. And then we had a little theater group and approached them about doing a dinner theater performance, and they did that, which was a wonderful audition. That was something people had not been able to attend here before. It had not been done, but they did a fantastic job. It was such an entertaining evening, and so that was a part of our activities. And I was asked to approach the next year's chairman about doing that work for the next year. And I'll never forget that he said that he envisioned the day when the budget for the Railroad Festival would be larger than the whole budget for the Chamber of Commerce. And I think that did happen.
Amory, Mississippi is not as busy as it once was. Today, the city serves as a retirement community filled with houses that date as far back as 1890. Quaint residential sections offer beautiful architecture and tranquil scenery that is mere walking distance from local shops and restaurants. A church bell rings every hour, chiming out tunes that can be heard up to a mile away. And every day, trains can be heard rolling through town, a reminder of Amory's unique industrial heritage.